Today we are going to delve into a deep exploration of four-dimensional thinking, where the lines between inner and outer thoughts, as well as reality, begin to blur. So let's get started. Imagine for a moment that everything exists now, in this moment. This is the essence of four-dimensional thinking, a paradigm that overcomes the limitations of conventional perception. It is the belief that the internal conversations we have, those silent dialogues with ourselves, shape not only our thoughts but also the external world around us. What we think and discuss in the depths of our minds weaves the fabric of our experiences, both with people and with the world around us. These inner thoughts and conversations are the seeds of imagination, and what we imagine manifests in our lives like scenes on the canvas of space. But what do we really want to create and experience? When we speak of creation, it is not about conjuring something out of nothing. Instead, it is about bringing to light that which already exists in the unseen reality, for all things already exist in their essence, waiting for the moment of actualization. Think of it as a journey to the realization of this pre-existing reality. Our inner dialogue, thoughts and visions serve as a compass to guide us on this journey. Our inner voice, distinct from the constant mental chatter, speaks in terms of harmony and abundance. It reminds us that anything is possible in the realm of the fourth dimension. Four-dimensional thinking is a wisdom often shared by Neville Goddard, who encouraged us to be imitators of God by thinking about how God causes the unseen to be as though it were seen. The invisible becomes visible, and this thought extends to our own lives, for we too can bring the invisible into the realm of the visible. To do this, we must harness the power of imagination before an outward manifestation takes place. Our inner conversations, those intimate dialogues with ourselves, are the cradle of imagination. They are the cradle of what we envision and what eventually gets manifested in our lives. In four-dimensional thinking, we learn to mirror the divine act, to call the unseen into the realm of the seen. We cultivate faith, which, as Neville wisely said, is loyalty to unseen reality. It is a deep trust in the existence of all things, even if they have not yet manifested in our physical world. That is why I keep emphasizing in our videos that we are the architects of our reality. We can design it with our thoughts and shape it with our inner conversations. What we envision in our minds is not just a passing thought but a process unfolding before us. As Neville once said, many people, myself included, have observed events before they occurred, that is, before they took place in this three-dimensional world. Since man can observe an event before it takes place in the three dimensions of space, life on Earth must follow a plan, and that plan must exist elsewhere in another dimension, slowly passing through our space. Our senses, as powerful as they are, often blind us to the unseen wonders that surround us. To truly see the unseen, we must free our minds from the confines of sensory evidence. We should focus our attention on the invisible, feel it and perceive it until it becomes as real as the tangible. In the course of our lives, we have been conditioned to believe that our experiences with the five senses define reality. But at some point in our spiritual growth, we begin to think independently, as they say, out of the box. At that moment, we ask ourselves, what do we really want? How do we want to live? By answering these profound questions, we discover desires that lead us down unique paths. Listening to our intuition, our inner voice, becomes our compass. It allows us to interpret sensory data from many angles. Through this practice, we find success and manifest results in ways that are unique to us. Some may even consider us geniuses or creative thinkers. By manifesting our heart's desires, we gain insights into how to transcend the limitations of three-dimensional thinking, which often keeps us trapped in the past or the future. So when we affirm that something has already been done, we switch to a different state of mind. Even though the outer world may appear unchanged, our perception is transformed and a new reality is revealed before us. By aligning our internal dialogue with our vision, we bridge the gap between our desires and the sensory data, and we no longer feel oppressed or violated by external circumstances, opinions, or environments. We effortlessly select experiences from the outside world, guided by our inner voice, which leads us on unexpected but purposeful paths and connects us with people and environments that resonate with our spiritual path. This is the essence of our inner journey, where intuition, inner dialogue, and sincere desires come together to create a life beyond ordinary understanding. In this fascinating journey of manifesting our desires, certain circumstances and information play a fundamental role. Imagine that you have decided to start a new career. What if you could experience the essence of this new career right now, as if it were true? To experience this essence, we must immerse ourselves in the vision of the desired with all our senses and completely immerse ourselves in this imaginary world. In that sacred moment, we perform an act of faith, and it is right here that a profound change takes place. This is the crux of manifestation and four-dimensional thinking. Even if superficial reality appears unchanged, we begin to perceive subtle changes, feelings and inspirations arise, and people unexpectedly enter our lives. These connections lead us to possibilities beyond the conventional path. In four-dimensional thinking, everything already exists, and our existence is part of that reality. To master the art of seeing the unseen, it is essential to free your mind from the limitations of the five senses. Focus your attention on an invisible state and feel it until it becomes as real as the world around you. This is where the imagination comes into play. A good exercise is to get into an almost drowsy state, focusing on an image that represents what you want to achieve, or creating affirmations that confirm that it has already been done. All these practices take us to another state of mind, and in that state we feel that it has already been done. Think of your thoughts as a concentrated beam of light. When you focus seriously and intensely in a particular direction, other sensations fade into the background, almost as if they disappear. Concentration is therefore key to manifestation. An important part of concentration is tuning into our inner conversations. Make sure your inner dialogue is consistently aligned with your desired outcome. By observing inner changes, you will also notice natural changes in the outside world. It is a harmonious dance between your inner world and outer reality. This process fosters joyful concentration and an unwavering focus on your vision because you understand that the power lies within you. Your inner world is the catalyst for transformation and shapes the outer world to reflect your assumptions and beliefs. With each passing day, you become more adept at changing your inner conversations and observing the beautiful metamorphosis in your outer reality. So remember, the power to create your reality lies within you. This practice opens the door to deep spiritual vision, giving us the ability to see beyond the world of the senses, where hidden truths await discovery. As the ancient scripture reminds us, for since the creation of the world, its invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood through what has been made, even its eternal power and divinity, so that they are without excuse. Romans 1 verse 20. To understand our vision, we must understand that it works independently of our natural abilities. We cannot trust only our physical senses. We must awaken our spiritual senses to truly discern the mysteries of life. It may go against what we have learned about how the world of five senses works, but it holds the key to what we call four-dimensional thinking, the belief that all things exist here and now, as these events can be observed before they manifest in the physical realm. To cultivate this fourth-dimensional thinking, we need to turn our attention inward and observe our internal dialogue, the conversations we have with ourselves about our daily experiences and our vision for the future. I'm not saying to get lost in a future that hasn't arrived yet. This knowledge is just to help you better understand the concept and manifest what you want in your life. Imagine experiencing a moment where you feel rejection from the world around you, perhaps through the words of a person who questions your aspirations and says you're doomed. It may be unpleasant to hear, but all of this originates deep within you. Even before this external event took place, there was an internal conversation that may have sounded something like this: I doubt my ability to succeed. Can I really achieve this? This inner doubt, fed by your own thoughts, manifests externally as the disappointing words of another. The rejection we experience in the world of the five senses may reflect a doubt or an assumption within us. The power to change your reality lies in changing these inner assumptions. All changes, all transformations originate in our consciousness. They do not unfold in the outer world as it appears. They begin as subtle movements within us. It is as if a story is unfolding on the grand stage of our lives. Imagine the theater of your outer world as a mirror that reflects the changes within you. Behaviors, environments, circumstances, and the information we receive are the canvas on which our inner changes are painted. Through this unfolding, the inner world manifests in the outer world. With all my heart, I hope this concept is the key to the transformation you seek, whether it be in your desires or even in your spiritual growth. Try not to perceive yourself only as a product of your five senses, as this could leave you adrift in a reality you cannot control. To purify our minds and adjust our inner conversations, we must recognize that these conversations are not mere reflections of our experiences, but are in fact the architects of our outer world. This may seem like a challenge at first, since we assume that the outer world is the cause of our reality. But with dedication, we can gradually change our perspective. Remember, all change is born in consciousness. Even the future, planned in detail in advance, offers many paths at every stage of our lives. But it is our inner conversations, our dialogues with the outer world, whether through circumstances or information, that lead us to the future we desire. There are many ways to achieve what you want, through power, through flow, or a mixture of both. But the choice is yours. When you understand that all change happens in consciousness, your inner dialogue will change towards proactivity. When you affirm that all power and everything exists now, you enter a world of infinite possibilities and shape your reality with intention and grace. When we begin to transform our consciousness and put ourselves in the state that everything already exists, we enter into a realm of deeper insight and inner strength. We realize that our power does not lie in external circumstances, but in the way we prepare for them internally. This realization leads to a fundamental change. We stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstances and instead understand that we are the creators of our experience. The transition from passivity to creativity requires a radical reorientation of our inner conversations. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" or "How can I prevent it?" we begin to ask, "How did I create this? And what do I want to experience instead?" These questions give us back control by encouraging us to actively work on our inner world. Because what we cultivate internally will inevitably be reflected in our external reality. If we use our imagination consciously, we must learn to direct these inner conversations so that they are in harmony with our desires. It is not enough to create a vision and then let it go. Rather, we must repeatedly immerse ourselves in the feeling of this vision, permeating it with our emotional and mental energy until it becomes an integral part of our inner dialogue. Because the universe does not respond to the mere fact of a desire, but to the energy and conviction we invest in that desire. With every conscious thought, every conversation we have with ourselves, we either nourish the vision of what we want or the opposite. And here lies the challenge. Our inner convictions are often so deeply rooted that we are hardly aware of them. We must learn to uncover and change these beliefs by becoming mindful of what thoughts we repeat daily. It is a process that requires dedication and discipline, but the rewards are immense. Over time, you will notice that what was once just an idea in your mind begins to manifest in the physical world as if by an invisible hand. These moments of confirmation, when the invisible turns into the visible, are like anchor points that remind us that we are indeed the creators of our reality. They strengthen our faith and encourage us to continue, even when sometimes it may seem like nothing is changing. Yet it is precisely in these moments when progress seems invisible that the deepest transformation often takes place. It is important to be patient with ourselves. The process of manifestation requires not only time but also trust. Trust that what you nourish within will find its way into the outer world. Now that you are beginning to recognize the power of your inner conversations and imaginations, it is crucial to understand the role of emotions in this process. Emotions are the fuel that powers our thoughts and gives them the energy they need to move into the outer world. Every thought we think carries a certain emotional charge. It is this emotional quality that makes the thought alive and gives it the ability to shape our reality. When you imagine a particular situation, for example a success you desire, pay attention to the feelings that arise in you. Do you feel joy, excitement, and confidence? Or are there doubts and fears resonating in the background? These feelings are of the utmost importance because they determine how your subconscious reacts to your imagination. A thought accompanied by positive emotions has much more power than a mere wish overshadowed by fear or insecurity. That is why it is important to consciously direct not only your thoughts, but also your emotions. If you notice negative feelings arising, don't let them overwhelm you. They are just an indication that there are still old beliefs or fears inside that need to be resolved. Instead of repressing them, acknowledge them, but consciously choose to focus your attention on what you really want. Through this act of conscious choice, you strengthen positive emotions and gradually weaken the power of negative ones. An effective tool for aligning your emotions with your intentions is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions we can feel, and it has the ability to instantly reinforce any intention. When you feel grateful for something, even if it has not yet physically appeared in your life, it signals to your subconscious that it is already a reality. This feeling of gratitude then attracts more situations and events into your life that align with that feeling. Try it out. Imagine your desired goal and feel as intensely as possible the gratitude that it has already been achieved. Let this feeling arise within you and feel how it permeates your entire imagination. If you practice this regularly, you will see how your inner world changes, and with it, the outer world as well. Your emotions become a powerful magnet that draws what you desire into your life. In this process, it is also important to remain flexible. Sometimes the results may not appear exactly as you had imagined them, but that doesn't mean that the process isn't working. Often our desires manifest in surprising ways that may be better suited to us than we originally thought. So be open to the possibilities and trust that the universe is always working for your best good, even if the path looks different than you had planned. So stay in this attitude of gratitude and trust as you direct your inner conversations and use your emotions consciously. This is how you open the door to endless possibilities and experience how your inner visions become your outer reality. If you enjoyed this journey into four-dimensional thinking and exploring your inner potential, I warmly invite you to subscribe to our channel. Here you will find deep insights, valuable spiritual tools, and inspiring ways to consciously shape your life. Together we can evolve, expand our consciousness, and learn to master the unseen forces that shape our reality. Subscribe now to the channel so you don't miss any new videos, and join a community that strives to experience life on a higher, spiritual level.